I've read the book a couple times, so tell us, what is the one key element to pinpointing a great successful salesperson?
Looking at all the characteristics that are persuasiveness and relationships.
Hi everybody, I'm really excited today to be with Dr. Chris Croner, author of one of my favorite books, Never Hire a Bad Salesman Again. He's helped me completely revolutionize my thinking when it comes to hiring top salespeople. I struggled for a very long time pinpointing the right people. So today we're going to give you a very short but powerful interview to be able to allow you to make the right decisions when it comes to screening the right people. So Chris, so happy you're here.
Thank you so much, Amir. Delighted to be here with you, sir.
Thank you. We had a great event about a couple weeks back where Chris spoke in front of a lot of people. I had unbelievable feedback from it. I've read the book a couple times. Tell us, what is the one key element to pinpointing a great successful salesperson?
You know, looking at all the characteristics that are important for sales. They're the classic things that people think of course. Things like persuasiveness and relationship skills, organizational skills. We found that all of those are important. But above and beyond any of those by far, again, are these three non-teachable characteristics that really continue to stand out and differentiate the high-performing hunters. Overall, we refer to them as drive, the key characteristic. And to break it down, there's the first element, need for achievement. The person who wants to do well just for the sake of doing well. So the person who's high in need for achievement, again, just naturally wants to keep setting the bar high, jumping over that and setting it higher again the next time. Then you have competitiveness, the person who wants to be the best among their peers and win the customer over to their point of view. And then you have optimism, the person who is certain that they'll succeed and they're resilient when they face the inevitable rejection that a salesperson faces. We find all three of those things together, need for achievement, competitiveness, and optimism, collectively referred to as drive, really makes the difference when it comes to the high-producing hunters of the world.
Wow. Now, during the interview process, outside of your trademark drive test that can illustrate all that and manifest those characteristics, what are some key questions that we should be asking during that interview process?
Of course, well, we know the best predictor of future behavior is previous behavior. So during the interview, we're looking to constantly establish those consistent patterns the person is engaged in over time previously that allow us to predict how they're going to perform for us going forward. So for example, when it comes to need for achievement, tell me about the kinds of sacrifices you've had to make to be successful. What does that person consider to be a sacrifice? Was it they had to come in a couple weekends last year, or was it something more substantial? Tell me about the greatest goal you've ever accomplished professionally. Really have them flesh that out for you. Then you can reflect back to them. You have to be proud of that. How do you intend to top it? That person high in need for achievement has a plan to top it. For competitiveness, tell me about the last time you were in a competition at work. What did that look like for you? And then for optimism, tell me about a time when you remained persistent even though everyone else around you gave up. Now tell me about another time. Getting those consistent examples throughout the interview.
Wow. Now, our current sales staff, right, typically is composed of A players, B players, and C players. What are some do's and don'ts with the A players, and what are some do's and don'ts with some of the B players that we want to top grade?
Oh, sure. So for the A players, most importantly, those high drive individuals, they love recognition. Those folks high in need for achievement. They like that opportunity to be recognized. Think of the kid in school that likes to have their paper put up on the refrigerator. It's that same part, that same part of the person. Also making sure that we don't cap the salary, of course, of the top producer. That's like saying to Michael Jordan, we're only going to let you put 12 points on the scoreboard in any given game. We want to make sure that there's that opportunity to keep putting points on the board, if you will. And then when it comes to the B players, we want to make sure that we give them constant chances to kind of continue to upgrade, making sure that we're recognizing, especially the ones that are high in drive but maybe limited on experience, giving them those opportunities to train. Because someone who's higher in drive and, say, less experience is like a sponge. Again, think of the kid in school that wants to do well. We give them those opportunities to do well. Then that allows them that opportunity to level up to the A level, if you will. Then the C players, sometimes recognizing some of those folks, they may not be as high in drive, but potentially they can be good to team up. They can be a good wing person, for example, for somebody who's higher in drive. They can be a great relationship manager, someone who's great at kind of following up and doing things of that nature. They can be a great kind of counterpart. So it's really about identifying where are the person's natural talents and where can we move them within the team to take advantage of those talents to make sure that we're happy and they're happy.
Nice. I would say last power question is, when posting advertisements or looking for salespeople, at the event that we held together, someone asked this question, and I was really blown away by it. What are some of those key trigger words to use when looking to fill a sales position with an organization?
We found that, again, going to a source like LinkedIn or some sort of a source where you've got people that have some experience and using phrases like, Are you a Top Gun salesperson? That's something that I've used in the past that's been very successful in terms of getting people's attention, if you will. Then making it very clear during that course of writing that ad that the person is going to have that opportunity to earn unlimited commissions, that they're going to need to have high drive, making those characteristics, if you will, very clear to them, and making sure that they understand that there are going to be some sacrifices they're going to have to make. When you make those types of challenges clear in the ad, you will attract the people that know that they can handle those sorts of things, and they're excited to have that opportunity, if you will, especially when you make it clear to them that there's not going to be a limit, that you're going to offer them that unlimited opportunity.
Nice. So let's say you get a fresh, highly driven salesperson that's new to the industry. What is one thing that you have to do to make them help them be successful, and what is something that can be absolutely devastating for them?
You want to make sure that you understand how much training that person needs. So if you bring this person in who's brand new, if you just sort of throw them to the wolves, you're going to be in trouble. Even if they're high in drive, if they don't know the right things to do, they are going to be miserable. Because you've got this person who's high in need for achievement, and now you're putting them in a situation where, again, they don't know what to do. They're kind of, again, how do I handle this? Whereas if you get somebody that, again, is coming in brand new, and you give them that opportunity to train, and you spend the right amount of time onboarding them, making sure that that first 2 or 3 months with them, that you're really spending the time that they need to learn and to grow. That person, again, when you've tested them and made sure that they're high in drive, using that testing at the beginning, now you're bringing in somebody that, again, wants to do well for the sake of doing well. And you can't do much better than that from a hiring perspective when you do have the opportunity to train and train carefully.
Wow. So would you say that having more A players around more A players generates more type of productivity as opposed to having a couple A players surrounded by B and C players? Is that typically what you've seen in environments?
Yes, so the A players do tend to feed off of each other, right? Because they do enjoy an environment where, again, there are others around them that are continuing to take their game to the next level. It becomes sort of a friendly competition, if you will. When you allow those opportunities, again, for friendly competition, you increase the production, again, of the group overall. So certainly as many A players as you can. Of course, teaming them up, as we said, with the folks who may be good, as we say, as collaborators, maybe who aren't necessarily in terms of responsibility, they're not responsible for bringing on new accounts, but they're responsible for helping out. They can then delegate, as we talked about, delegate those activities, making sure that they're spending their time on the one thing for each person that they bring best.
Nice. Well, Chris, I don't want to give them too much because they have to go read your book. I've read it twice, it's been unbelievable. I really recommend all of you viewers out there, if you're serious about building the New York Yankees or the New England Patriots, or whatever have you, of your sales staff, just true champions. Learn how to hire. Hiring is critical when it comes to building a great business, and what separates salespeople from business people, knowing how to build an amazing team. I recommend you to reach out to Chris. We're going to do one last slide. Brooke is going to be able to do that for you guys for all his contact information. Reach out. He has an incredible drive test that actually is able to exhibit all these things. You can get him on the phone, he'll educate you, and it'll be the first step for you to build a world-class organization. So Chris, thank you so much for your time as always.
My pleasure, sir.
And we'll be in touch. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.